Shalom, beloveds. Welcome back to the station, whatever you want to call it, YouTube station. I don't know what they're calling it these days, but I'm very happy and very rejoiced and glad to be here on another Yom that Yahuwah has made and brought to pass and brought to fruition, and I am, ecstatic to be here. I'm stoked to be here. As you can tell by the smile on my face. So when the Ruach HaKodesh moves you to put out a word, a great word, a good word, however you guys are, speaking, the Basura, is the great news, is the good news. The Torah, the Tanakh is the great news, the good news, and I'm here to relish in that and enjoy and just be astute, be prudent, be frugal, be studious. We gotta do the research. We gotta study, show ourselves approved. Nothing's gonna happen with lazy legs, lackadaisical spirit, lazy spirit, slothfulness. That's that pride. Those are the deadly sins that some of us are dealing with and putting up with and going toe to toe, blow for blow, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, nail for a nail. Everybody is going through something and struggling with something, and the best defense and offense is Yahuwah's word. Tuda'ata Yahuwah, the Most High Abba. Tuda'ata Yahusha HaMashiach, for the pathway, for the doorway, for the doorpost to righteousness, to the truth. And I just wanted to get on here and caveat yesteryoms, yesterdays, for those who, in layman's terms, yesteryoms news, yesteryoms lesson, I meant to say, was on the name meaning of AMANU'AL. This will be a continuation of that lesson, part 2. And let's get started here. So for those who are returning, welcome back. And for those newcomers that are trickling in, I say shalom to the chosen few. And I say, don't call any man, woman, or child your teacher. We can sit here and preach and give sermons and train and coach and mentor all day, but there's only one great teacher, and that is arduous, and that is Yahuwah Alua, Yahuwah Elohim. So without further ado, I like to get my notes here and my board, and let's see. So yesterday, we had this right here going, Yom 7, right? Today will be Pagan Monday, which will be this day right here. So I can erase this, put an X through that. Yom 7. Let's do Yom 8. And I have here my notebook that I like to annotate and take notes on. And so I've added a few. I was led to by the Ruach HaKodesh to add a few scriptures that coincide with what we covered on yesterday. So let me erase the ones I've previously had up there and put in these other ones here. So for those of you that's following along, I want to say Tudah, thank you. I'm appreciative and I'm grateful. And pass the word along. Repost, share, all of that is welcome. Let's see, we're gonna revisit Isaiah again a couple of times. We're gonna revisit Isaiah. Let's put that on there. Isaiah, Yahusha, chapter 9, verse 6 and 7. Same deal, Isaiah. Chapter is 11, verse 1 through 10. So the top half, the top portion there of that chapter is really good. We're gonna go into the New Testament a few times. Let me slap that in there. Colossians 2, 9 and 10 verses. And then let's do, we got 1 Peter in there. And chapter is 2, verse 6. Right. We got Hebrews. Chapter is 2, verse 14 through 17. We also have a bit of Revelation, Chazon. And the chapter is 21, verse number 3. And then we'll take you over in Yahuchanan. For those that know, they know. If you know, you know. John, in other words, chapter 1 and verse 14. And then we're also going to visit the Tanakh, the Torah, with a little of Genesis and a little of Exodus. So Bereshit and Shemot. Let's get that put on there. Just like that. Pardon the writing. I don't write often on this board. So only for a time such as this, when I'm putting out some study, some lessons, some info, and some details and some insight. Yes, for Yahuwah, the Most High Abba. So it looks something like that. Right there. Boom, there's a little glare there, but don't mind that. The sun is going down. I'm off to a little bit of a late start today. So, keep rocking with me. Let me turn on this light really quick. Hold on. Let's see if we can get a little of that in here. Let's see. All right. Sorry for that brief intermission, but I do want to have someone put in the comments, those of you who can moderate and you know what I'm talking about, put in the comments the Strong's Concordance numbers that we're gonna cover real quick here. Strong's Concordance out, right? Go into the Hebrew section, and mind you, I'm in no hurry. You know, it took me a long time to be groomed and to be polished, to go through the fiery furnace, the flames, to come out like this, to come out of the hot coals, you know, barefooted with gasoline draws on. It took me a minute to a hot second to get to this point. Like every person has a try and true phase, trial and tribulation phase, you know, where trouble arises, but it doesn't last. You know, trouble comes, but you know, joy comes in the morning when trouble arises. So now I was looking at AMANU'AL. I was right on the page, and it slipped my mind. The Ruach HaKodesh had me, you know, say it out loud without having to pull it up in the witness, but I like to give people that, you know, give people this so that way they can see what I'm talking about. So now, if I can bring this just a little bit closer here, and I don't know how good that's gonna show, but let's see if y'all can see where my thumb is. H6005, AMANU'AL, right there. Hopefully that was visible enough as for, you know, a visual to see that in plain sight. So the name of AMANU'AL shows up. That it says typological name of Yahusha's son, or Isaiah's son, but that's not so. You know, that is Yahuwah's creation. You know, he made it, he created it, he established him, just like he did the prophets. So I also have a couple of others. You can see the witnesses. H5973, which is it says here, verbally and prepositionally in varied applications. So it says as long as, before, beside, by reason of, for, all, from, among, from, between, in, like, more than, up, unto, with all. With all. Funny how that, you know, correlates to one another. AM. They have IM there. But if you go over here, right above it, at H6004, AM, to associate by implication, to overshadow by huddling, together, by huddling together. Like how he says, I am that I am, Ahaya, Ashar, Ahaya, the great I am. You understand? I am that I am. A-M, A-M. A-M, A-M, A-N is in here too. I didn't jot that one down, but I did jot H410 down. I'm gonna mosey on over there really quick like and pull it up. And it states all, right? All. Strength as adjective mighty. Mighty. Almighty. Yahuwah is great. Mightiest of mighty ones. Powerful. Strong. Right? Am. You got am. Man. You all. Like if you take, for instance, example, my YouTube handle name. It's not the exact spelling of Yahusha HaMashiach, as in AMANU'AL, him being AMANU'AL. Like it has my name, my YouTube handle has 2 M's. Am, Man, UAL. Am a man of Alua. You see that? Those who got eyes to see, ears to hear, they're gonna know. I am a man of Alua. Am a man of Yahuwah. Am a man of Alua. See that? You have the whole kick and caboodle there. You can't miss that. Because a lot of times we tend to miss the mark because we're too busy veering to the left, veering to the right, looking to the left, looking to the right, worrying about what he say, she say, the hearsay, the hearsay, being hypocritical. You know, that's that hypocrite activity, mentality. We have to be spiritually enlightened, spiritually awakened, because those who are still under the veil, those who are still blindfolded and blindsided and bamboozled and swindled, they're not going to see that. They will fail to get that and miss the mark. So, again, is H6005 for the name AMANU'AL. H5973 for AM. And H410 for all. AL. Everybody got that? Okay, great. So, I can put that away here. Now I want to show you guys, pull out the scriptures. Show you guys. I don't know how long or how short these videos are. It's just, I'm going to keep going until the Ruach HaKodesh is done using me. Till the Ruach HaKodesh is done utilizing me. If that runs over long, it's just a long form video. If it runs short, it's just a short form video. That's just what it is. All praises, honor, worship, and esteem, and exaltation be with Yahuwah, be upon Yahuwah, be unto Yahuwah, belongs to Yahuwah. Right? So I want to show y'all, those that were here yesterday, they know. But in the I'm going to take you guys to the Nabim. Right there where my finger is. The prophets. I'm going to take you guys to the Torah. To the Torah. Tanakh. Nabim. You follow me? I want to take you to the letters of Shaul here in the Brit Hakadash and other writings as well in the Brit Hakadash today. Okay? Okay. Get my witness here. This is going to be some interesting, intriguing stuff right here. Right? Right. So, let me get my witnesses ready here. We're going to read. We're going to start it off in the prophets. Okay? We're going to start this thing off right. Yashayahu chapter 9. Let's go over there. Yashayahu chapter 9. Good stuff. The verses are 6 and 7. I just want to point this out. It's the birthright, the rise, and the commission of Yahusha HaMashiach. And the clarification, the verification of his name, AMANU'AL, being born. And I want to share this. Let's get to reading. It states, "For a child is born unto us, a son is given unto us." Who is that child? Born unto us. A son given unto us. And the rule is on his shoulder. That goes to show you that he's the ruler. He reigns supreme. Right? He is all in all, everything that every embodiment of Yahuwah, Yahusha HaMashiach is. AMANU'AL. Of the increase of his rule and peace, there is no end upon the throne of David. It says David, Dawood, and over his reign to establish it and sustain it with right ruling and with righteousness from now on, even forever. The ardor of Yahuwah of hosts does this. Ardor means zeal, right? Zeal, fiery, flames. It's like superb. I don't want to say he's a jealous all. I don't want to say that ardor means jealous, but Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL, is the envy of those kings that were going to be thwarted because of his birth, because of his arrival. Just like when he says his name is AMANU'AL, just like the time when the people was chanting and calling and shouting and hooting, hollering and yelling and saying Hosea, Hosea, right? Hosea in the highest. Yeah, like that. He's the one that all the hypocrites, all of the scribes and Pharisees and Sadducees was jealous and envious of Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL, Hosea, in the highest. Father of continuity, Prince of Peace, yes. Of the increase of his rule and peace, there is no end upon the throne of David, and over his reign to establish it and sustain it with right ruling and with righteousness from now on, even forever. The ardor of Yahuwah of hosts does this. So, Yahusha HaMashiach also is the protector of the house of David, right? When he had his reign, when he had his kingdom, right? When he had his time as king, he protected the reign of David and made sure that his throne didn't fall. He made sure his righteousness, his unity, his equity, his everything that would consist of his time as a king. Like he protected the anointing, because Yahusha HaMashiach is the only anointed one. Mashiach. In Hebrew, Mashiach means anointed. He's the only ordained one. He's the only anointed one. And even then, those terms are a different dialect, of a whole different tongue, of a whole different language. But in terms of Hebraic, Abri, he's the only anointed and ordained one. And he protected David's anointing and his ordained kinsmanship. So, when you look back at verse 6 and 7, with Yahusha being the light of the world, his birth was the birth of the light, as we know it. His birthright, his rise, his commission was the birth of the light. And he's greatness in that light. He's perfect in that regard. We're striving to be as Mashiach was. We're trying to thrive in that regard, for that matter. So, the birth of the Prince of Peace, the wonderful counselor, the Father of continuity, King of Kings, strong Elohim, strong Alua, strong mighty one. You understand? I just want to make sure that's understood. So let's move to chapter 11, and we'll read the first 10. Let's read the first 10 verses. And a rod shall come forth from the stump of Yeshai, and a sprout from his roots shall be fruitful. The spirit of Yahuwah shall rest upon him, the spirit of wisdom and understanding, the spirit of counsel and might, the spirit of knowledge and the fear of Yahuwah, and shall make him breathe in the fear of Yahuwah. And he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears, but with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and shall decide with straightness for the meek ones of the earth, the Arats, and shall strike the earth, the Arats, with the rod of his mouth, and slay the wrong with the breath of his lips. Y'all see that? And righteousness shall be the girdle of his loins, and trustworthiness the girdle of his waist. And a wolf shall sojourn with the lamb, and a leopard lie down with the young goat, and the calf and the young lion, and the fatling together, and a little child leads them. And cow and bear shall feed their young ones, lie down together, and a lion eat straw like an ox. And the nursing child shall play by the cobra's hole, and the weaned child shall put his hand in the adder's den. They do no evil nor destroy in all my set apart mountain, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of Yahuwah, as the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Yashai, standing as a banner to the people. Do you know who that banner is that Yahuwah is referring to, that he's referencing? The banner, our banner, Yahuwah Nisi. See what I'm talking about? Yahuwah Nisi is the banner. It says, unto him the nations shall seek, and his rest shall be esteemed or exalted. Let's get the witness here and pull that up. So, am I in the right chapter? Yes. So this is a description, right? Yahuwah gives this description of what Yahusha is sent to do. He's the lamb. He is the lamb, right? And him being the lamb, all of the other wolves and sheep's clothing, all of the other counterfeits, all of the other leopards and lions that is being described right here will be bowing. They will see him. They will know that is him coming. But even still, they're gonna, it's like bending the bow, bending the bow, bending the knee, and lowering their head is what everything, even the little child, all of them are gonna acknowledge Yahusha HaMashiach. Like, you know how when Yahuwah says, I am the vine and you are the branches, it's like when he made and created and established Yahusha HaMashiach's birth, his birthright, his commission, his rise, all of that. When he did that, that was him lending to us. That was him giving us an option. It's like, not even so much an option, that's just him giving us a lifeline. You know, reaching out that branch, giving us hope, you know, for the plans of our future, for his purpose, for his will, for his way, for his reign to come. And with Yahusha HaMashiach being the definition of that, that was like the olive branch to his children, his sons, his daughters, you know, the people, the nation. So, everybody got that? Everybody grasp that? Okay. Good. Grab that. Grab that. Get it while the getting is good. It's coming in hot. It's coming in hot. I'm gonna go down. I I'm gonna go and cover some more here. Yes. I wanna see. Yes. Let's go to the New Testament for a little bit, right? Let's go to the New Testament over in the Brit Hakadosh for a little bit. I started in the prophets and the Nabim, but I'm gonna head over to. I'm gonna go over here and just put some meat and potatoes together, so everyone can see chapter 2 of Colossians and verse 9 and 10. And it states, because in him dwells all the completeness, y'all heard that, of Alua Alahimness, bodily. And you have been made complete in him, who is the head of all principality and authority. Yahusha HaMashiach is the head of light and dark. Y'all know what principality mean, right? Principality is darkness, where enemies dwell, where adversaries dwell at. But Yahusha HaMashiach is the head. He rules over that, and he rules over like the brightness. In him dwells all the completeness of Alua Alahim bodily. So that is again showing that Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL, is the embodiment of Alua Alahim. Alua, Yahuwah, Alua. Right there. Take you over to the witness, and the witness shows similar, same thing. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of Alua. Alua Alahim. Rooted in Yahusha HaMashiach. So the preeminence, the presence of Alua Alahim is Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. When we're deeply rooted in Yahuwah's word, that means we deeply rooted in the body of Mashiach, the body of Messiah, Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. The Messiah, the Mashiach, he's the hope for all. All of those who believe, I say, that got the AMANU'AL, the BirthRight, the birth, the rise, the ascension, from the descension all the way to the ascension. He walked a walk worthy of Yahuwah, Alua, Alahim. And it's how we ought to walk. Seeking what is above, like Yahusha HaMashiach did. Being dead to the world. Being dead to sin. Being dead to the grave, death. Being dead to this economy, politics, whatever have you, secular music, entertainment, you name it. Yahusha HaMashiach has overcome it. He's overcome the stake, the timber, the tree, the death, the piercings, the grave, Shaitan. He overcame the devil too. All of those things. And we ought to do the same. as Yahusha HaMashiach did AMANU'AL. Let's go ahead and go to, oh, this is good. This is so good. This is great stuff. Let's go over to First Peter. I know I probably done passed it. Hold on. I'm going a little too fast. If I'm going too fast, y'all let me know in the comments. Because once the Ruach get to moving and get to percolating on me and within me, you know, I get ahead of myself at times. Okay? So y'all let me know. But yeah, let me slow it down just a little bit. I know Peter's over here. And it is First Peter at that. The chapter is 2. And we're going to do verse number 6. Get the witness set up here too while I'm at it. There's that. So let's get to reading, shall we? Because it is contained in the scripture, see, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone. And who's that chief cornerstone in Zion? You see what I'm saying? Chosen, precious, and he who believes on him shall by no means be put to shame. See, when you believe in Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL, you shall not be embarrassed. You shall not be ashamed. You shall not regret. You should not have any remorse for believing in him. You know, all of those negative, derogatory remarks, statements, comments, thoughts, desires should be put to bed with your belief in Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. There's a witness, Yeshayahu chapter 28 and verse number 16 right here, sitting right out, poking out at me, waving. Hey, I'm gonna go right over there too. Right over there. 28 verse 16. Therefore, thus said the Master Yahuwah, see, I am laying in Zion a stone for a foundation, the rock. See that? The stone for his foundation is the rock, a solid rock on which we stand. A tried stone, a true and tried rock on which we shall stand. A precious cornerstone, a settled foundation. He who trusts shall not hasten away. When you trust in Yahusha HaMashiach, when you believe in Yahusha HaMashiach, when you put your hope and trust and faith and confidence in Yahusha HaMashiach, you shall not fall away. You shall not fall away. You shall not get distracted. You shall not fall into detours. You shall not be nicked up. The righteous shall not be shaken. You won't be knocked off your square, knocked off your stoop, speed bumps, roadblocks, hindrances, mountains that have to be moved. That mustard seed of faith and belief you got in Yahusha HaMashiach will move all of that. Them dead ends, right, cannot hinder you, cannot stop you. You will be on solid ground, on solid rock, on solid ground, on solid foundation. Because Yahusha HaMashiach is that. He is as such described here, explained here, by the one and only Yahuwah Alua, Yahuwah Elohim. Does everybody get that? Does everybody get that? I'm gonna go revisit 1 Peter chapter 2. So when you have the stability of Yahusha HaMashiach, when you have the security, you're safe and sound, no evil can befall you. You lay aside all evil. You will see it fall to your right. You'll see it fall to your left. You will notice Yahuwah's hand in your life. You will notice the royalty that you are becoming. You'll notice the royal flames. You'll notice the regal flames. You'll notice the brotherly, sisterly priesthood that we are in. You're going to recognize and realize who is of Alua, Elohim, and who is beginning to take flight and level up. See, segregation and separation requires, its elevation requires separation and segregation. And that isolation in that solitary state, solitude, right? You are being brought up to where Yahuwah brought Yahusha HaMashiach. Higher ground, right? To the highest of highs, right? So, I also want to flip over to the witness of Yashayahu that I just read. Yashayahu, Isaiah, and the chapter is 2. Look, 28. I stand corrected. 28. Boom. I stand corrected. That's all right. 28 right there. Verse 16. Precious cornerstone. You want to see your crown? All you Malaks, all of you Malakas out there, you want to see that crown of righteousness, of life, and the other 5 crowns or more, I believe that it is. You gotta take your anxieties, you gotta take your cares, you gotta take all of your burdens to the feet of Messiah, of Mashiach, Yahusha HaMashiach. His burden is light. His yoke is easy. His burden is easy. Yoke is easy. The more you put your trust in Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL, the lighter the load gets, the easier the walk gets. You feeling me yet? Here we go. Now, let's go to Hebrews. Let's do Hebrews. Let's do Hebrews a little bit. Let's go over to Hebrews chapter 2. Because this all coincides with each other. This all goes together. Like one big matrimony. One big happy family. Mishpachah. Hebrews. Chapter 2. And verse 14. Therefore, since the children share in flesh and blood, y'all heard that, he himself similarly shared in the same, so that by means of his death he might destroy him having the power of death, that is the devil, and deliver those who throughout life were held in slavery by fear of death. For doubtless he does not take hold of messengers, but he does take hold of the seed of Abraham. Y'all hear that? So in every way, he had to be made like his brothers in order to become a compassionate and trustworthy high priest in matters related to Elohim, to make atonement for the sins of the people. For in what he had suffered, himself being tried, he is able to help those who are tried. You see that? He's got to fill you up. He's got to fill you up. He's got to purify you in the flames, in the royal flames, in the regal flames. You have to be transparent and earnest and honest when you've been rescued, and he's showing you and proving to you and expressing to you and demonstrating you your salvation. We can't gripe. We can't moan and groan and sulk and pout and complain about what it is we're going through, because he went through the same thing, even worse. He went through the exact same thing, even worse. Right? He is the scepter. You know how the king be having the crown. He got the scepter. He got the shield. He got the full armor. Yahusha got all of that. Yahusha is even better than the angels. AMANU'AL. Why do you think the name given to him was AMANU'AL? He is even greater than angels. Greater than the Malachim. More perfect than the Malachim. They next in the totem pole. They below. They're underneath him. Yes. Yes. And I'm getting amped up and riled up and revved up. I'm getting pumped up because Yahuwah has given me this fire, and I've been tried and true, and my faith been tested, my belief been tested, my trust and hope and confidence been tested. I've been down, up, high, low, good, bad, right, wrong, slips, trips, bumps, bruises, scarred, emotional damage, turmoil, storms, trepidation, everything. But my eyes are set upon Yahusha HaMashiach. I look upon the hills, toward the hills with my help and my strength come from, to the highest mountain peaks, to the hilltops, to the valleys low. Yahusha is gracious. He's merciful. He is the house. He is like the shelter. He's the tower. He's the home. Just like how we mentioned, this house is not our home. He is that. He is our home. When you're immersed in his name, he becomes your home. He becomes your house. He rids your heart of stoniness. He rids your heart of unbelief. And he gives you a heart of flesh. The only way that we're going to get a crown is through Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Let's do, should we go Revelation? Since I'm already towards the back, right? I'm already towards the back of the scriptures here. I'm going to visit it. Let's do that. Revelation chapter 21. Uh, and the verse will be number 3. And I heard a loud voice from the heaven saying, see, the dwelling place of Alul Elohim is with men, and he shall dwell with them, and they shall be his people. And Alul Elohim himself shall be with them, and be their Alul Elohim. See, now this is examples. This is example. This is a sample size. This is an instant where Yahuwah tells us that he's going to be with us. He's going to be amongst us. He's going to walk with us. He's going to talk to us. He's going to speak with us. He's going to be hand in hand, side by side, neck and neck. From yester Yom to today's Yom. Right? He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. He's sitting there telling us in this book of life right here that there's going to be a new Shamayim, heaven, and a new Aratz, earth. And he's going to merge the two. He's going to bring them together. And you know who's going to be the head of it? Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. For those of you that are still here with me, that is the head of the newness of life, this high. Yahusha HaMashiach. Right. Let's keep going. Let's do, there's a witness. I think there is a witness. I do believe so. Let's visit Leviticus. Leviticus chapter is 26. Right. And the verses will be 11 and 12, guys. And gals. Let me pull that up here in a witness too. So I have it. Right. 11 and 12. And it reads as such. And I shall set my dwelling place in your midst. There it is again. And my being shall not reject you. And I shall walk in your midst. You see that? And shall be your Alul Elohim. And you shall be my people. He keeps saying it. He said, there is no other beside me. There's no other like me. There's no other Savior. He says, I am a jealous Alul Elohim. So who do you think he referring to and referencing? Right here. Again, Yahusha HaMashiach. AMANU'AL. Plain as day. Look it. Let me pull this witness up. And he is the reward. Yahusha is for obeying the laws, the statutes, the commandments. He's the prize. He's the prize. He's the reward. He's the award. He's the prize. And then you know what happened with when Yahuwah gives according to disobedience. It was a lot of plagues and pestilence and you know, it was a lot of, there was floods, stuff like that when there was disobedience. But at the same time, he also rewarded us for obeying. And the times that our forefathers and ancestors were obedient, He showed himself. He presented himself in an honorable way, in a receivable way, in reception. In a crown-worthy way, in a kingly way, a malak. He expressed himself. He took it amongst himself and volunteered his services, which he didn't have to do. Just like he doesn't have to give us breath. He's the giver of breath of life, right? Let everyone who has breath, what? Yada Yahuwah. Praise Yahuwah. He didn't have to give us the light of another day, another yom either, but he does. Because he don't want to see his very own that he has chosen, that he chooses to perish. But he says that he said he would set up a dwelling place. He would set apart a call, the shadow of the Almighty. Who you think that shadow of the Almighty is? When you stand, yes, you said it. You got it. Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. But like I was saying, like, if you stand next to a street light, like the sun just went down outside, right? You stand next to that street light and you look to your side, your left or your right, you're going to see your shadow. The shadow of the Almighty is Yahusha HaMashiach. Say it with me. AMANU'AL. AMANU'AL. Oh, this is too great. Ooh wee. Ooh. That is good. That is good. He's the reward. He is. Let that settle and sizzle in your spirit, sizzle in your soul. Now, I want to visit let's visit John, Yehukanan. We ain't go there yet, did we? No, we ain't go there yet. We ain't go there yet. Let's pull that up. We're gonna do chapter 1. We sure are. We're gonna do chapter 1. Chapter is 1. And this is the time, being here and sharing this quality time in this space with you all, right? This goes to show you in everything we've been reading that Yahuwah is limitless. There's no cap to his potential. There's no cap to his limit. Like, when you see this ceiling up here, you see this wall, like you see this ceiling there, right? You see this little wall over here, and I'm capped off. This is as far as I can go before I get to the next room. But you see, Yahuwah, Alua Elohim, Yahusha HaMashiach has no bounds. You can't put a boundary on Yahuwah, on Yahusha. You can't put him in a box. He's not no genie in a lamp. He's not no jack in a box like the magicians do. He hates that, by the way. You can't put him in a bind, right? He breaks bonds. He breaks chains. He breaks shackles. He breaks handcuffs. He breaks bondage. He breaks slavery. Just like how he brought Yasharal out of Egypt, Matzarim. Matzarim, or Mitzrayim for some of you. He utilized Moses, and he also took it amongst himself, like I was saying earlier, to get his point across, to get his message across, to get his word through to his people. Let's visit John. I got the witness pulled up. Now I'm going to get the reading pulled up as well. John, Yahushua, chapter 1 in the verses 14, guys and gals. And the word became flesh. and pitched his tent among us, and we saw his esteem as of an only brought forth of a father, begotten son, only begotten son of a father, complete in favor and truth. His word became flesh. Yahushua knew. Yahushua had petition and supplication and thanksgiving. He was plowing, he was praying. He knew that the time was going to come where there was going to be a one that was greater than he, that was stronger, mightier, more perfect than he, that he can't even lace the sandals of Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. He knew that Yahuwah, Allah Elohim, was gonna do what he did in the form of Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. Okay? Okay. All right. I'm gonna pull up this witness here. The word was, is, for, and about Yahuwah, Allah Elohim. From the moment that he made this earth, the 10 words, the 10 commandments, the laws, statutes, and commandments, from the beginning, from the very start, the word is Allah, was Yahuwah, always will be, for and about Yahuwah. You don't believe me? Watch this. And we just read the one right here. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he power to become the sons of Allah Elohim, even to them that believe on his name. See that? Right there. I don't believe you. Just watch this. See, take every word, right? You don't have to take my word for it. It's in the scriptures. Like it's plain as day, clear as day. You don't have to believe what I say. Take it with a grain of salt, right? Go to the Heavenly Father, Father of lights, Yahuwah, Allah Elohim, and ask him for yourself. Ask, seek, and knock for yourself. Go and do your, be vigilant, do it yourself. Study, show yourself approved, do your due diligence to go about learning, studying. Not just because AMANU'AL said it. It's not my words. I didn't say it. I'm just reiterating. I'm just restating what's there. I'm just planting the seed and sowing the seed, putting it out there, and hopefully Yahuwah waters that seed and it blossoms. It blooms. It goes from caterpillar to a butterfly. Simple and plain. That's all there is to it. But I want to pull up this I want to pull up. Let's go to the Tanakh to close this out. Let's go to the Tanakh to close this out. This Layla. Exodus chapter 25 and the verse is number 8. I'll pull it up in the witness. Yeah. Witness right here. Boom. Boom, boom, pow. Okay. Verse number 8 states, it reads this, and they shall make me a set apart place, and I shall dwell in their midst. He said it again. How many times we done seen that? Let every word be established by 2 or 3 witnesses, right? And we saw that at least twice or thrice right here, right now. This Yom, this Layla, this evening. They shall make me a set apart place, which is a hakal, and I shall dwell in their midst. So now, with that being said, how is it that when Yahuwah says that he's going to dwell in our midst, that he's going to walk and talk and speak while he's in our midst, how do you think he did that? When we can't direct, like I was mentioning and was led by the Ruach HaKodesh to speak on and say and talk about boldly yesterday, we can't look directly at him. We can't directly see him. We can't do that without being offed. You follow me? So, if we're making him a set apart place to be here, to be with us, who do you think that is? That he's speaking on, talking about. If he's going to be with us in our midst, and we in his presence, I hear y'all. I can hear y'all through the phone. That's right. Correct. That is correct. Yahusha HaMashiach. AMANU'AL. Beautiful. How beautiful that is. Let's get another witness. Let's get another witness, right? And let them make me a sanctuary, which is what? A tabernacle, right? That's why he has a appointed time, a feast day, a high day, a high Shabbat. That's called tabernacles, right? And that's like a whole week. And let them make me a sanctuary that I may dwell among them. Instructions for when he was to come in the form of his word, in the flesh, Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. Just because you don't see Yahusha HaMashiach where Yahuwah is speaking and talking in his word, just because you don't see the name AMANU'AL doesn't mean he's not talking about that, because he is. If and when you receive the Ruach HaKodesh, you're going to receive and resonate with this video. The reception is going to be real. The offering of tabernacling with us was Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL. Plain as day. Made space, he made room for Yahusha HaMashiach to be amongst us. Let's get one more. Let's get one more. One last one. One last one. Let's do Genesis. This is the one that's gonna take people out. I'm expecting questions about this one. Like, because even when I seen it the first time, I was like, no way. Get out of here. What? But I'm like, huh? Yeah, it's true. True indeed. So let's do Bereshit, Genesis chapter 3. Let's do verse number 8. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah, Elohim, walking about in the garden toward the wind of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah, Elohim, among the trees of the garden. Y'all felt that? I feel that. One more time. I'm going to read it one more time. And they heard the voice of Yahuwah, Elohim, walking about in the garden toward the wind of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Yahuwah, Elohim, among the trees of the garden. I'm gonna let that sit real quick while I put this back. Y'all let me put this up here. And I've got the witness right here. Temptation by Adam and Eve, Kahua, or Hawa, whatever y'all are calling her out there. Adam. And this was the fall that happened of Adam when he let Eve trick him, right, into eating that apple, right, into taking a bite out of that fruit, the tree of life, and everything like this. And they heard the voice of the Elohim walking in the garden. Walking in the garden. Who's walking in the garden? If we can't see, back to what was stated earlier. We're just going to regurgitate a little bit. If we can't directly feast our eyes and put our eyes on Yahuwah Elohim, Yahuwah Eluah, without being, taken out, then who was walking in this garden? Right. I can hear it. Correct. Yahusha HaMashiach. AMANU'AL. Walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Elohim amongst the trees of the garden. So if he's in our midst and we're in his presence and he's walking, he's talking, he's speaking, he's moving, he's tabernacling, he's keeping feasts, he's keeping Shabbats, he's keeping Sabbaths, he's keeping all of these things with us. Who was it? Who was it that was there all along? Who was it that was there the whole time? This entire duration. Yahusha. Yahusha HaMashiach. AMANU'AL. I'm gonna give you one more fruit for thought to chew on and to digest. And again, make sure you go to our Maker and Creator with all of your concerns, worries, doubts, questions. You know, here's the skinny, right? Here's the kicker. When the Ruach HaKodesh leads me to come back on here to make another YouTube video, I'd like to ask this question now before I'm led, however I'm led next time. This is like a poll question, right? How many of you out there have seen a being, a spiritual being, a heavenly being in your vision, in your dream? How many of you have seen a person, a man, an immortal man in your vision or in your dream? And before you answer that, think, like really put your thinking cap on and sit with yourself in your palal, in your prayer closet, and give it some thought. This is just a fruit for thought question. And let me know in the comments. Have you dreamed a dream or have sought a vision where you saw a heavenly being, a spiritual being, an immortal man in that vision or in that dream? And tell me who that was that you saw. I'm AMANU'AL, and I like to say Kwam Yasharal, Yada Yahuwah, Barak Yahuwah forever and ever, Barak Yahuwah forevermore. And kudos to you who have watched this entire video in its entirety, and Tuda Ata for liking, for comment, for sharing, reposting, and commenting. This is all Yahuwah is doing, none of my own. He's gotten me to this point. He's brought me this far, and he's dug me out of quicksand. He's dug me out of pits, snares, traps, ditches to be before you sitting here. And so this is all credit to him, none of my own. This is all praises, all honor, worship, and esteem, and exaltation being with Yahuwah, be upon Yahuwah, belongs to Yahuwah. For my existence, for the life I'm living, and for calling me by name, and choosing me to do the Father's business. So again, count it all joy. Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL, Part 2. This lesson is concluding now. So I'm gonna get a little rest and relax, and Layla Tub to all of you out there, wherever you are in the world. Boker Tobe, if it's morning over there. Hopefully everybody got something out of this video and was edified with edification, and is educational, and hopefully you was educated and you can use it to educate your children, because man, woman, or a child, everybody it's never too late to be educated. Educating and being, especially this education, this sort of education, because they don't put this out in these buildings made by man's hands. So hopefully everybody felt the conviction, and felt what I felt, and saw what I saw, and heard what I've heard. And the voice of the voice of the shepherd. Pardon me, the voice of the shepherd, and that is Yahusha HaMashiach, AMANU'AL.